guys, and welcome back to Catching Up with Cameron. I'm your host, Cameron Mitchell, and today I'm here with GFL star Gabe Chambers. Welcome to the show, Gabe.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So tell me, where are you from?
I'm originally from Alabama, Florida. I grew up with my mom and my brother on my mom's side. So, That's who I primary. My dad was in and out, but I mostly grew up with my mom.
What was that like growing up just with only your mom?
I mean, it was tough.
Yeah.
Because, you don't have a dad in your life that much, but then you have the mom doing the best that she can do, working as much as she can. And so that's why I salute single moms and stuff. I had a little temper when I was younger. And I had a temper. And then with my dad not being there all the time, I actually took a lot of that. I thought it was my mom's fault because, she's the only one there. And I'm like, why my dad not here? Is it because of this? But then when I got older and my dad, I can understand stuff. And, he was abusive and stuff like that. So
would you say that, your dad not being there from such a young age kind of motivated you throughout your life?
Oh, yeah. It definitely motivated me. So, you only get one dad and one mom. So I had to forgive him.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't forget. So.
And did you find it hard, though, just throughout life, like not having that dad to talk to?
Oh, yeah, it was definitely hard. I had my uncles. I had my coaches that I had to depend on sometimes. I actually moved in with my high school quarterback at one time because it was kind of odd. Things weren't going good at the house, and my mom, reached out, and then I was living with my high school quarterback for a while.
What were you feeling when you're not able to even live with your own mom and you have to go live with your quarterback? Like, what was that experience like for you?
I mean, the experience-wise was good.
Yeah.
I got to see two different lifestyles, so it was good. But then once again, I was so grateful because then you always. For me, I was always around those people who they had everything, they had two dads in the house and stuff like that. But whenever I went here, it had a wake up call for me to be grateful for what my mom was doing. So that's when I really appreciated her a whole lot more stuff.
Do you think that your successes on the football field ever came from just like anytime you would bring a bad day from home to the field? Do you think that you could really see that in the way you were playing?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely use my past a lot to motivate me to make sure I never want to go to that same spot that I was at. Uh-huh. And it still stays with me today. And even though I'm an adult and I'm a head coach, it still stick with me today.
Yeah. So you led your team to a 4A championship, right? Your senior year?
Yeah, my junior year we went, and my senior year we went. My junior year we lost. We just had that bad taste in our mouth. Mm-hmm. And then from that, we won out. Yeah. And then it just came to the season. And that was the best thing about it, just playing with those boys.
And you were a wide receiver at this point?
Yeah, I was a wide receiver at this point.
And so at that point, were you dependent on sports to be able to go to college? Like, was college something that you wanted to do, or?
Most definitely. It was just, I used that as my drive. I used that football as my way to get out.
So tell me then, walk me through the recruitment process and what colleges wanted you, what college did you want to go to, that sort of thing.
Man, it was, my recruitment process was a crazy experience. It was more like a package deal with my quarterback. I took my last recruitment visit to Jacksonville State, and that's what happened. That last visit was just like, man, we might as well stay together. We've been together since we were long. So, and then we just now coming out of state championship. And I was just thinking about us instead of just making my own decision. But, I made a decision and I lived with it. I was happy with my decision.
Yeah, so you went straight to Jacksonville, but then you ended up redshirting your freshman year anyway.
Yeah, I ended up redshirting my freshman year. Some stuff happened with the paperwork. I couldn't practice with the team, and I set out my first year, and that year was really a test.
So how did you feel tested?
I had plenty of thoughts going in my head at that time. It was mandatory for you to still work out with the team, do the morning workouts and stuff. But then after you do all that stuff, you'd be like, I can't even play. Like, why am I doing this? And so it tested me so many times to where I had to really just dig down. So many times I had to pray. So many times where I just had to, hey, call my high school coach, go back home, talk to him. And they helped me out a lot because he was an alumni as well. So they helped me out a lot.
Okay. What do you think ultimately was what made you realize, like, no, come on, stick this out, pass this test, do it?
It was my mom. She was always on me. She was always telling me, God have a reason for everything, and this is the reason. He's just testing you.
Yeah.
It's a light at the end of the tunnel. You just have to keep pushing.
So your sophomore year is when you started your first game.
Yes, my first game.
And do you think that your teammates and your coach thought, like, okay, yeah, like Gabe is definitely going to go play at the professional level after college?
Well, the thing is, yeah, they actually did. A lot of coaches believed in me, but then I made the transfer. They thought I was done because I was going to NAIA school. Okay. So I just went there and played. And then a scout, I remember talking to a scout, and basically he said that the coaches there basically said that I was kaput. I was done with football. So that's when I knew how the politics all get involved with the football world.
How did it feel, though, to hear that those coaches who you thought, were supporting you thought, like, no, he's done?
That was like a dagger in the heart. This is the coach that recruited me. Just because I wanted to take a different route, he slaughtered my name like that. So that was a big dagger on my heart right there. Football was like my only thing. And I was like, where do I go from here? Yeah. So I stopped going to class. I was there for football. I wasn't thinking. I was smart. I wasn't really paying attention, and so that was me being dumb. Athletes don't do what I did. Yeah. So that's when I had that wake up call for me.
Okay, and so then you stopped playing football for a couple of years at that point, right?
Yeah, at that time I was lost. I was actually lost, and I'm not gonna lie about it. I was lost.
Can you walk me through that kind of experience for you? Those highs, those lows?
Highs are the highs. Everybody loves it when they high, but when you actually at your lowest point, that's actually the point where you can see if you really love this game. It's hard to make that transition. And then I was at that point where I really didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. But good thing I had family. Yeah. I had the family, and my mom was back in Florida. I had a phone call with her, and I realized what she was going through. She was telling me, she was crying on the phone. I was crying on the phone. So that built me and my mom relationship a whole lot more. But like that was the moment where I was like, okay, I got to do something. I gotta get my mom, try to help my mom get out the situation, or try to do something, have a positive impact on her.
Would you say that was that lowest point that you were talking about?
Yeah, that was the lowest point because I felt like I let my mom down.
Well, so then the CFL reaches out and you end up going to their rookie minicamp. Tell me about what was that experience like for you?
Well, I ended up going to Buffalo. They wasn't getting off right, and I was just staying with my offensive coordinator, and he took care of me. But he looked out for me. He took good care of me. I respect this man to the day I go to the grave, and I hats off to him for what he did, and he seen my potential. And then he actually had a talk with me.
That's interesting because I was actually going to ask you, you talk about how you went to live with quite a few different people throughout your life, right? Just different times in your life, but yet you had this temper. What do you think it was that made people so willing to just take in Gabe Chambers,
It was like, it was good because like they seen the good side in me. Yeah, but then again, you have to look at the background, what all I had to do to get here. So it was a lot of people that's a part of my success. I hadn't made it. If it weren't for these people, I wouldn't have made it where I'm at now.
Yeah, of course. So how did it feel living in all of these different countries? I mean, you talk about going from being a Southern boy to New York, then what's it like leaving the country?
Then all of a sudden I get a phone call from Poland. A dude named Luke Zedizagi, Z-Man, and he's Canadian, so he was asking me about everything coming to Poland. I was like, I'm about to go to a CFL tryout, like a mini camp. It was like, it's okay. So it was just crazy how I get a phone call, and then it was like, it's okay, just go ahead and go to the CFL. I'm gonna root for you, no problem. And so I called him back in like another week or two. And I said, hey, I'm ready to come overseas. It was odd. When I went to the Philippines, I seen where two little kids, and it's like a sewer, but it was like cabbage on like a fence that was growing. One was underwater, so the oldest one was on the water swimming. The youngest one was above with the butcher knife. And they jump on like the gate, chopped it down, chopped the cabbage and the lettuce or whatever is down. And then they swim right back in the sewer with everything in there. So I sat there and I watched them put a bucket of dirty water, threw it on the cabbage, and then they chopped it up with soy sauce, and then they ate it with the rice. Then I went over there and I bought them jollies because like I knew where I was at in my life, and I knew I had people to help me in my life. And like once seeing that, it was like I can't do this, man. I can't just go on about my day. That was my wake up call. Yeah, really my wake up call.
And do you think that like moments like those are what made you end up wanting to turn to the whole coaching and doing this online coaching business with kids?
Definitely.
And now you're going to be acting as a head coach, but also as a wide receiver still?
Yeah.
How did you get the promotion as like a head coach?
They liked my experience,
Yeah.
They liked what I can bring to the team. They was actually after me for 3 years now. I actually played against them as well. Okay. So for me, I was just in a good situation, and they liked the direction that I was wanting to take the team in. Nice. So I had great coaches around me, and just taking everything that you learn from each journey, from each destination where I was at, and I just take it and put it into my own.
All right. Well, now I hope you guys can understand why I just called him a GFL star, from coaching to playing wide receiver. Like seriously, this guy does it all. So thank you so much, Gabe. I'm so glad I got to have you on the show.
Thank you as well. And make sure y'all keep on staying in contact with Cameron. What she does is amazing. She's going to do great things. Thank you a lot for having me on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much, Gabe.